Hi guys, it's Darlene from Couture. Gonna work on this fun project tonight. I tried to do it this morning and I got a phone call during my recording and for some reason it just completely cut it off, so it only showed part of it. This is what I made this morning. I just made this on a board. I painted it. And we're going to go ahead, I'm going to show you the full tutorial. I was going to post just part of it, but I decided this is such a neat one that I will go ahead and I will redo it completely. So this is what I did this morning, and we're going to do this on a frame that is from Couture. This is our Grayson, and the size, let me take a look at that. This one is our 18 by 24 inch, and this is a size C transfer. So I've already cut it and I used it this morning. I've already put the X on the back. These are silkscreen transfers. They're sticky on the back, and you can see that there's a silkscreen in there. It's similar to a stencil, but it's different because it has the silkscreen fabric in there. And I've laid out the way that I want to have my pattern here. Raising my tribe gets a little wild. So it can for sure, especially if you have littles. So the first thing I did was I got all of my chalk paste ready. I've got it stirred up. You want it to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. And it's okay if there's a couple of lumps in there, don't worry about that, because when you spread it out, you're gonna push and those are gonna come right out. So you just want this to be as smooth as you can get it. So this one is fawn, and then this one here is, oh gosh, I messed this one up, but I know what it is. It's guava. Occasionally I call it the wrong name. This is guava. This is our Couture teal, poppy, peacock, and bumblebee. So I have all my colors ready that I'm going to use, and I'm going to start at the top here and do the words first, then the teepee, and then the words down here. I will wait to do the arrows because I'll need to dry this. It's going to overlap where tribe is. So I'm going to go ahead and get this ready. It's been used before, so I'm not going to go ahead and fuzz this, but what I do need to do is I need to make sure that I get all of my air bubbles out. So I am going to press that down. And then tribe is going to be right below that, probably about right there. I'll wait a minute. I'll do this one first. And then Gets a Little Wild is going to be at the bottom down here. And I have folded my corners under. I find that's really easy for me so that I can peel this back up off of my surface. And these are reusable. These are silkscreen transfers that you will wash, and you can use them again and again. You just want to take care of them. Corporate says 8 to 12 times for usage, but if you take good care of them, you can get many more uses. So you're just going to peel the backer off, set that to the side. You will need that. When you are all done and you wash these, you will put that back on it. And this is a Couture surface, so we do not need to wax it. Our transfer will be fine on it. I'm going to spread this out. Make sure all the air bubbles are out. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to use our guava. And then I will use the Couture teal. So I'm just spreading a little bit of the chalk paste up there. I know my head's going to get in this. This is a big project, so it's really long. It was hard to get it all into my screen for my video. So I know that my head is gonna be in it at some point because I have a big head. So you're spreading your chalk paste into your transfer, pushing it down through the silk screen to the surface below, and then you scrape the excess off, put it back into your jar because you're going to reuse that. I'm gonna set my squeegee right there. I'm gonna grab these by the corners, and this one is probably gonna be easier to pull it side to side. So I am just gonna pull that to this side, and there are my letters. I'm gonna put this into a water bath. A water bath is simply a container of water that we put our transfers into until we have time to wash them. Okay, so now I could put tribe right there. And peel it off of the backer sheet. I'm gonna center it in here. And I am not being exact. I am just getting it as close as I can. I'm not gonna worry if it's off a little bit. I'm gonna use our Couture teal. I'm gonna grab a squeegee. I'm gonna spread that through my transfer and then scrape the excess off. Put the excess back into your jar. And then I'm just gonna pull this from the top here on the corners. I'm gonna peel that down. There's our word tribe. I like the contrast, the black and those colors pop. So at the end, I'll show you the two side by side. They look totally different on a black surface or a light ivory surface. It really does look a lot different. And I'm gonna do the teepee itself. I'm gonna do it in fawn. This is like a light ivory color. You could consider it that. And I could use my big handled squeegee. Let me grab that. So our 4-inch handled squeegee is really great for a big area. It makes it go really quickly. It's kind of an odd shape since it's a triangle. So I'm trying to be careful so I don't get it on the edge where it's not supposed to be. Okay, I'm gonna put the excess back into the jar. And if I made a mistake and I went outside and got outside of the silk screen, like right here, there's a little bit down here at the bottom, not a problem. This is water soluble. It's easy to clean up. Not a problem at all. So I'm just peeling this off and I'm going to put this into the water bath. This one's really a cute one. I really like this one. I think it would be super cute in a family room. Okay, I'm going to use Poppy down here. This is a great bright color. It's going to stand out really well. Grabbing one of my squeegees and just spreading the chalk paste through the openings. You can see if you've got it or not because you can see the black underneath. So you want to make sure that you fill all of that area. Put my squeegee right there. I'm going to peel this up. I'm just going to pull this side to side. So always pull side to side or top to bottom, not diagonally. If you pull it diagonally, it can stretch it. Put that into my water bath, and I have my paper towel here to wipe my fingers. I can also use it to just get rid of that little oopsie right there. Either that or a Q-tip would work just fine. And now we're going to dry this really quickly. So you want to make sure that you're moving your heat gun. You don't want to bubble up your chalk paste. It's going to dry really quickly. I'm going to turn it to air now. Okay, then you're going to fill it. You're going to make sure that it's not hot. You do not want to put your transfers down onto a hot surface. All right, so sometimes you will have an issue with your chalk paste pulling up the layer below. I am simply taking my rag from another project that has wax on it, and I am waxing this surface here to just kind of help so that the chalk paste doesn't pull up, because we don't want that. We're going to do the rest of our designs on here, our coordinating colors. We'll do this flap last. I didn't realize when I did the one this morning that that is supposed to be last because you put on all this other stuff first. So the arrows are going to go right here, and just going to kind of center that. This here is longer. I'm kind of wanting to cut that so that it's even so I can make it centered. I'm just going to cut that with my scissors. Okay, so all I did was I wanted to make the ends of these so that there was the same amount there so that I could judge this better when I lay this down on here. So one arrow is going to go right here. And then one on the other side. And I may have to lift this up to take a peek at it to see if it is even. I think it's close enough. Trying to decide which color I should put there. I think I should use poppy. So I'm going to take my little multi-tool and I am just going to spread it throughout that transfer, fill the arrows. And then I will pull those transfers. So I'm just going to pull side to side. And this is going into my water bath. So I'm just trying to tie all my colors together. This is going to be right here at the top. And I'm going to want to fuzz this. Even though I've used it before, it's going over the other color, and I don't want it to pull that up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fuzz this just a couple of times because it's not very sticky. It really is not. So I'm just going to do it 4 times, and I'm going to do, the color I want here is my peacock. So I want to bring that color into it. And it's going to give a really good contrast on this. I'm going to press that down, get out any of my air bubbles. Put some of my peacock chalk paste there. Use a mini squeegee to spread that. Gonna squeegee off the excess, put it back into my jar. I'm gonna set that onto my lid, and I'm gonna pull this carefully. We don't want to pull up any of our chalk paste on the other side. Our chalk paste that's underneath. Okay, so it's a little offset, but actually I kind of like that. It's hard to get it exact. It did go over the side, so actually I think it's supposed to be like that. The other one is that way. On the other one, it does not cover it completely. You can see the coloring of that. You can see it underneath peacock. So it's the same, but it shows up more because it's white. And now we're going to put in some of our other colors. And it's not white, sorry, it's fawn. Because it's a lighter color, it shows up more, but that's okay. It's fine like that. I'm gonna figure out how this goes, and I am gonna fuzz this. Do want to make sure that it's not gonna stick. And making sure I don't put my fuzzing towel up here. This is a fuzzing towel from Chalkin With Dar. You can use just a regular towel. I mean, this is nice and pretty, but you do not have to have this towel. You can have just a regular bath towel that has been washed several times, and that will work just fine. So you want to figure out where this goes. You can see where it's supposed to be, and I'm also going to look at my other one. Let me see here. Okay, so it does go down fairly low on here. You can see through it. It's kind of interesting because it is looking a little different than the other one. It's probably because I did the door first, so it's throwing me off a little bit. We're gonna do the door last. So I think that we will do it, we're gonna use this color. We're gonna use guava on this, sorry. It's funny because I don't know why I have a hard time with this color. Maybe because I don't eat guava? I don't know why, but I have a hard time remembering this silly color. But the great thing is I can peek underneath and I can look and I can tell you what color it is. On the bottom is the label, and it tells you the name of each one. It also tells you how to use it. So we're going to put the excess back into our jar. Just scrape off all of the excess. You want that to be very smooth. And then we're going to gently pull this. We're going to go side to side. That looks good on there. The guava looks really good with that. Put this in my water bath. So these colors are turning out totally different from what the other colors were. Okay, I'm going to dry this now. I'm going to dry in between. Going to turn it to just air so that we return it to just room temperature. Okay, if it feels hot, just put your hand there. It will help dissipate the heat. Your hand absorbs the heat. You do not want to put your transfer down onto a heated surface. We're going to take our little rag that we had the wax on from before. We're just going to gently wax that. It just has residual wax on it from the last time I used it. It does not have a lot of wax at all. It just has the remaining from before. We're going to take this, we're going to fuzz this. Okay, we're going to use our bumblebee because we're going to bring in some of our bright colors now. And I could do a variety of colors, but I am just going to do bumblebee on all of these lines and dots. And then this goes up here. Okay, so maybe I should tie in some of the Couture teal. Maybe I should do the lines, Couture teal, and this part yellow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab another multi-tool. Actually, I'm going to grab two multi-tools because I'm going to be really careful with this. I have my bumblebee right here, and I'm going to do the door bumblebee. Okay, and I'm going to do the dots. Maybe not. Okay, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to do this, and then the dots up at the top, I'll do bumblebee. Okay, so this is all that I'm going to do with that. The rest of this I'm going to do Couture teal. So I'm going to tie all of that in. So I'm going to just dip into that and get a little bit. I'm going to do my lines right here. I'm going to do my dots. I'm trying to decide because I really want to have it be bright. So maybe the dots need to be poppy. Trying to tie a lot of good colors in here. Okay, so I'll do the dots, poppy. I need to hurry because I don't want this to dry on my silk screen. So I am working against time, and I'm going to take just a little tiny squeegee. Actually, this one already, our multi-tool, already has this on it, so that will work perfectly. I'm going to do my little dots right here. Just work that quickly. Okay, almost done, and then I'll pull this. It's getting close to drying. You always want to make sure that you pull it before it dries on the silk screen because it won't look as nice. It'll pull up the chalk paste. So the yellow is pulling up. Okay, that's a little bit of a problem. So I'm just going to work that a little bit more right there, and let's see if that helps it. I'm gonna take my finger and I just sprayed some water. Just gonna get that just a little bit wet right there. That's all I'm doing. Just trying to get it to look nicely there. Okay, perfect. Pull this up. Okay, so we have a lot of different colors there, and I'm going to put this into the water bath, and it's okay that this is lighter in some areas. That's fine. If we wanted to go back over it, we could. You actually could take a stylus and touch that up. I have my stylus right here, and if I was really concerned about that, I could just touch that up, get that line back in there. Okay, so don't ever worry about it. There's always a way to fix it, to touch it up. You could wash that off and you could lay the transfer back down and you could redo that whole thing. All right, so we have one more. We have dots that go up here. They go right here. So I'm gonna fuzz this on my towel over here. And this just lines up right in here. And I wanted to do yellow, just to bring yellow up in there, but then I was thinking that the poppy actually is going to look better, so I'm going to do poppy, and all I have to do is just spread that across just like that. Excess goes back into my jar, and then just pull that. All right, so there we go. There is our sign. It's all done. I've got all these guys going to my water bath. Okay, so I wanted to show you the difference between how this looks and on just a regular board. So it's actually a complete difference. Depends on your background, on what you use, how things stand out. The peacock on here did not stand out as much as it did over here, and it's just because it's on a different color background. The letters, I think, stand out better here. Each one is a little different. So anyways, that is it. Wanted to show you that. I'm glad that I made it through that. My video this morning, I had a phone call is what happened. So I was taping and a phone call came through on my cell phone, and I pressed ignore. Well, it kicked me off and I didn't notice that it stopped the recording. So I just kept on with my tutorial, and I got to the end and I realized that it missed like the last third of it. So I wanted to redo it for you, and I love this one. I know it's going to sell. So I'll seal this one, and it has a hanger on the back. I will seal this one and I'll put a hanger on the back of that. So I'll have two of these to take to my craft show this weekend, and hopefully at least one of them will sell. And if they don't, I actually have someone in mind that could use this, that would think this would be really cool. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. If you have questions, just leave them in the comments. I get back with them. It doesn't always happen the same day. YouTube does not notify me when there's a question. I actually have to go back and look. I don't have it set where it pops up. So anyways, thank you for joining me. Have a good evening. I will be doing more this week, and then I have a craft show this weekend, so I may not get a tutorial out on the weekend, but I will have my lives on my Facebook page.